How can even a police officer read this? Doesn't this give you reason to investigate more?
I think questions being asked on this call definitely need to be asked.
Why wasn't this escalated sooner?
After reviewing the facts of this call, are there lessons to be learned with what happened here? Welcome, I'm Tony Kovaleski. During the next half hour, we're going to share with you some of the most important stories uncovered by our investigative team during the past year. A behind-the-curtain look at investigations that started out as a tip and grew into significant accountability questions for leaders in power.
This is my last stop.
I would love this to be investigated further.
We begin with a tip from the Western Slope. All the evidence pointed to a murder-suicide. Or was it? Jennifer Kovaleski with our report.
Good luck. I love you. Have a good life. You deserve it.
When you're left behind,
I'm sorry I couldn't deal with pain anymore.
words written on a piece of paper are sometimes all you have. For Allie Wagstaff, her grandmother's suicide note still haunts her.
How can even a police officer read this and then not, doesn't this give you reason to investigate more?
To understand why Allie questions the investigation, we have to go back and travel 3.5 hours west to Newcastle, Colorado. A stunning mountain town nestled in the Colorado River Valley. The date was April 10th, 2022.
She was one of the most wonderful people I had ever known.
You say she shot herself?
The dispatcher's talking about 80-year-old Darlene Brooks, Allie's grandmother, and Darlene's husband Bill, who for unknown reasons drove 20 minutes down this winding gravel road to a local grocery store to call 911.
911, what's the address of the emergency?
My wife just died.
Bill, who the family says suffers from a traumatic brain injury, struggles to provide basic information to the dispatcher.
What's the address?
Gosh, I can't hardly think of things. Hold on.
A grocery store clerk steps in to help Bill.
His address is 4412 County Road 243.
From here, the Garfield County Sheriff's Office takes lead on the case. Deputies find Darlene lying dead on her bed with a gunshot wound, her hand still on the trigger and the revolver pointed at her temple.
It was immediately ruled a suicide.
Bill tells deputies he last saw his wife that morning before going outside. Asks why he didn't call 911 from the landline in the house. Bill can't explain it, but says there was no cell service. And here's where the case takes a dramatic twist.
And the next day, over 28 hours later, Tanner was found.
Tanner was Darlene and Bill's adopted son from Hawaii.
He was just 19. He was just old enough to start a life for himself.
Julie Sands is Darlene's daughter and Allie's mom. She was there the next day on April 11th when family found Tanner's body in his room across the hall.
I just jumped out of the car, ran into the house and ran into his room.
Deputies in the coroner's office are called back to County Road 243.
It's on 4412 County Road 243.
Oh no, okay.
You can hear the concern in the death investigator's voice. They had missed a body.
Yeah, it's going to be a 19-year-old male.
Okay.
None of it made any sense.
Julie says the family, confused and grieving, now had no idea what happened in the house that day. But the lead investigator came to a quick conclusion.
She comes out and she says, well, it appears that your mother shot and killed Tanner and then laid on her bed and shot and killed herself, just matter-of-factly.
In a little over 24 hours, a suicide now becomes a murder-suicide. Why, the family wondered, did it take so long to discover Tanner? But those hours now pale in comparison to the 9 long months the case remained open and the investigation went silent. How would you describe the last 9 months?
Tormenting. I mean, you can't grieve, can't have any closure because you don't have answers. I mean, what do you do?
Interestingly, the same day Denver7 Investigates started asking questions about the deaths, an otherwise dormant investigation took on new life.
They didn't do anything until after you all contacted them.
We went back to Allie's house to show her what we had discovered.
There was no evidence collected that could prove who did it, except for the bullets matching.
The Garfield County Sheriff's Office waited 9 months for this critical report from the Colorado Bureau of Investigation, or CBI. It was the evidence needed to close the case. The test proved Darlene and Tanner were killed with the same gun. Darlene's Rossi .38 special revolver. CBI had this ballistic evidence for 9 months. And it's worthy of noting, examiners finally completed their analysis 4 days after we reached out.
It makes me appreciate you all a lot, but it's really frustrating for us because I've been asking for this stuff since April.
The delay, in large part, is because of a CBI backlog for firearm ballistic testing, a backlog that's up to a year. Another significant part of the story we'll get to later.
What do the case files say to you?
They say to me that they were not investigating at all during that time.
Once Denver7 Investigates got the ballistic report, the case was closed and the files opened. Files that spotlight what the family says was an inadequate investigation.
How would you describe the investigation by the sheriff's office?
What investigation?
We discovered the exact day we sent an email to the sheriff's office. The lead investigator actively starts working the case again, writing 6 new reports in 12 days. And for the first time, she interviews witnesses, including a neighbor and that grocery store clerk who helped Bill. She also, for the first time, downloaded and listened to the 911 call, all 9 months after the shooting.
It's irresponsible, lack of follow-up.
I have 43 years of law enforcement experience.
Retired Douglas County Sheriff Tony Spurlock has investigated hundreds of similar cases. We asked him to review the case and provide his unbiased opinion.
I think the investigation is accurate. It's just they cause themselves to be questioned more because of these other circumstances.
Specifically, the lack of evidence collected the first day when deputies thought this was just a suicide.
The next day, when they're now changing it to homicide, now they're having to play catch up.
Records show Garfield County never got a formal statement from Darlene's husband. Investigators also never collected his clothes.
They made a decision which way to go, and they said, yeah, we're not going to take his clothes. We're comfortable with what we see here. And that decision now has caused people to question them.
And what about those witness interviews conducted 9 months later?
I think it should have been done as close as you can to the event so you have immediate recollection.
Denver7 Investigates has discovered Garfield County doesn't have a death investigation policy. There's no written roadmap for how officers should handle cases like this. We found most Colorado agencies do.
I always recommend that you have a standard operating procedure on major events. It's really just good practice.
And here's where our story takes another turn. After weeks of back and forth, Garfield County Sheriff Lou Villario finally agreed to go before our camera.
Just wanted the opportunity really to maybe discuss some of the hurdles we had with this and, for lack of a better term, clear the air on this case.
Starting with how deputies missed Tanner's body.
It is unfortunate, and obviously, it could be a little bit embarrassing, of course.
Embarrassing for their agency, devastating for the family. But the sheriff says his deputies only conducted what's known as a protective sweep that first day. Darlene's husband also said he hadn't seen Tanner, so Villario says deputies had no reason to believe he was in the house.
It really didn't lend to us to do an extensive search, nor do we have the legal authority to do an extensive search.
The Garfield County Sheriff's Office relies solely on CBI for its forensic testing. And Villario says the delayed ballistic testing caused the case to be put on hold.
We're more or less at their mercy. It absolutely is a public safety issue.
And now to perhaps the most important question.
Why don't you have a standard operating procedure for death investigations?
So we don't really have a manual on what's the best way to do a death investigation, because every death is unique.
But most agencies do, and experts recommend you should have a standard operating procedure for death investigation.
And I don't believe that. I see no reason to have a death investigation policy in our organization.
I feel like they owe my family a public apology.
I apologize. I mean, certainly I would say that it could have been done better.
Please don't call my grandmother a murderer without having proof, because they still don't have proof.
For those family members left behind,
it's been the worst year of my life. I mean, seriously.
They've spent the last 9 months running through every scenario, struggling to believe Darlene would have killed Tanner, and wondering what might have happened if police had found Tanner's body and launched a homicide investigation from the start.
Everybody should be treated as a suspect. Treat me as a suspect.
Do you have the answers that you need now?
At this point, I don't believe that we ever will. They will be missed, and they deserve justice.
Do you think the backlog poses a threat to public safety?
As we just learned, deputies missed a body at that murder-suicide, and that wasn't the only problem. Jennifer Kowaleski continues now with tough questions for state leaders about the painful delays.
When there's a major crime in Colorado, small law enforcement agencies rely on the CBI, the Colorado Bureau of Investigation.
Unacceptable. Just completely unacceptable.
Julie Sands thought CBI's crime lab was doing its job.
I love my mother. I love my brother. We deserve to have answers to what happened to them.
But 9 months went by before scientists touched the ballistic evidence in the deaths of 80-year-old Darlene Brooks and her 19-year-old son Tanner. Both were found dead with gunshot wounds, a day apart, inside their home in Garfield County.
I mean, it's insane. It doesn't make me feel very safe in my community.
Denver7 Investigates found there's up to a year delay for processing firearm ballistic evidence. Fingerprint and DNA analysis are taking the state crime lab hundreds of days to complete. A significant backlog, leaving victims like Allie Wagstaff and her mom Julie in the dark.
It almost feels like we don't have permission to grieve yet.
They couldn't grieve because they didn't have answers. And the Garfield County Sheriff's Office couldn't provide any either.
I know they were in the dark. We were in the dark too. We were waiting just like they were waiting.
In your opinion, is it acceptable for CBI to have a year backlog for firearm ballistics?
No, it's not. It's never acceptable.
Chris Schaefer has spent most of his career with the Colorado Bureau of Investigation. He's the newest director to take over the agency.
How did CBI get here? This backlog didn't happen overnight.
Correct. No, it didn't. I think we got here with probably not growing as fast as we should, and at the same time, we have more pieces of evidence that are coming in.
Internal data obtained by Denver7 Investigates details the full extent of CBI's backlog. Firearm ballistic testing has the longest delay, taking examiners nearly a year to process. Fingerprint analysis can take 200+ days, and DNA testing isn't far behind.
Everything we get is of great importance, but there's different urgencies for different types of cases.
To manage the backlog, CBI says it moves cases up based on need. Schaefer says evidence from a case with an unknown killer or one with an upcoming court case will get higher priority.
What kind of impact is this having on court cases? And are cases having to be delayed because of these backlogs?
Not that I'm aware of. Now, I'm going to tell you there might be a case or two out there that I'm not aware of.
In the case of the deaths in Garfield County, CBI says the ballistic evidence wasn't processed faster because agents were told it was a murder-suicide.
If we would have known or had any indications that this was anything other than what it was first labeled as a murder-suicide, then we would have moved it up quick.
But 9 months later, Garfield County Sheriff Lou Valario says something did move it up.
Quite honestly, your involvement, bringing it to the forefront, and me making a couple of phone calls to folks at CBI helped get that pushed through. Otherwise, I have no doubt we'd still be waiting.
There was a period of time in Colorado where we would send a sexual assault investigation kit in. We would wait 18 months.
Retired Douglas County Sheriff Tony Spurlock says those delays are why he pushed for their own crime lab.
We told them, without this lab, more victims are going to become that, because perpetrators are out there running free because we can't catch them because we have to wait on another jurisdiction to help us.
Once you opened your crime lab, how quickly were you able to get those sexual assault kits back?
Oh, we could get things back in weeks.
But smaller communities don't have those resources.
This is a result of an agency that is overworked and overburdened.
And here's the critical question.
Do you think the backlog poses a threat to public safety?
Yes. I'm not going to say it doesn't.
CBI took its concerns for public safety to state lawmakers last year. The agency asked for more scientists and more agents to help local agencies investigate serious crimes.
We had the 4th lowest amount of scientists per population in the country, and that really brought it home, was that we needed more people.
The state gave CBI $15 million to grow its agency by nearly 30% over the next 3 years.
I think we're going to reduce those turnaround times. I'm very, very confident in that.
But it's too late for the family of Darlene and Tanner.
I don't know that we'll get the closure, but this makes me feel better to be able to prevent others from having to suffer like we have.
Our next investigation also started with a tip, an insider asking our team to dig deeper into a heartbreaking story with the worst possible outcome.
Park County 911, what is the exact location of your emergency?
It all started with a 911 call in rural Colorado.
My wife said she needed to get to the hospital.
A call off this road 29 miles from Fairplay.
She's just so super weak that she can't move.
It was a day in the middle of the pandemic, October 21st, 2021.
She's asking if they're coming, and I said, they're coming.
You're listening to a call for help from an anxious husband.
She's, not as coherent as should be.
This has kept me awake at night for years.
This patient needed to go to the hospital.
Insight from 2 veteran paramedics, both calling for accountability, both fearing retaliation and asking us to disguise their identities.
I'm afraid that if someone doesn't come out and bring this into the light, more people will die.
What do you hope this investigation produces?
Action, and it's time that more awareness is brought to this problem.
I just wish my mom was still here.
Nearly 2 years later, Megan Marquez still doesn't completely understand decisions made before her mother's death.
I would like to know what happened and why, and most of all, I want them to know that their actions had consequences and our life is completely different because of it.
Burl Harmon was 67 years old. The coroner's report lists her official cause of death as complications of COVID-19. But according to the two insiders, two now former paramedics with this ambulance district, there's more to the story of Burl's death.
This crew left this woman to die.
I just broke down and said, "Oh, Burl, please."
Emotional details from Burl's husband, Daniel. He made the call from inside their house and remembers the moment he realized she died.
That hurt to see that, knowing I didn't get to say goodbye.
When you called 911, what did you want?
I wanted her to be transported to the hospital.
Now remember that moment, because according to multiple sources and documents uncovered by Denver7 Investigates, that's not what happened. Burl was not taken to the hospital, literally left to die in her home.
She should have been taken to the hospital.
This patient should have been transported to the hospital.
And here's the center of the controversy. Two former paramedics and these medical records say Burl's condition required an emergency transport to the hospital. But the responding paramedic documented the 67-year-old refused care. Essentially, a written justification for allowing her to stay in her home and die. Now, 35 minutes after paramedics drove away from Burl's house, another call from her husband.
I think my wife just passed away.
This call from the day it happened did not sit well with me or the department, but nothing was ever done about it.
Fire Chief Brian Cook responded to the second 911 call from Burl's husband.
She hasn't moved. I don't see no breath. I don't feel no pulse.
I think questions being asked on this call definitely need to be asked.
So now, nearly 2 years after the call to this house in Colorado's rural mountains, two veteran paramedics, a fire chief, and members of Burl's family are still searching for answers, calling for justice.
Something is missing there.
If I'm hearing you right, you're looking for answers.
Yeah, if only those answers could bring her back.
When we hide reports, when we hide documents, it makes us look bad.
As we uncovered hidden details about Burl's emergency response, they led to concerning questions that we brought to the leadership of the South Park Ambulance District. From what you've gathered, how should we tell this story?
I would tell this story as, this is a very unfortunate incident, and there's two sides to every story.
And one of those sides questions why this telling document sat for months in the bottom of a box inside this firehouse.
I believe it was not a mistake.
You think it was intentional?
Yes.
By the prior administration?
Yes.
Hartselle Fire Chief Brian Cook responded to the second 911 call to Burl's house. At that time, he was only a volunteer firefighter, but after becoming chief, he discovered the document with details from the first call to Burl's house and started digging.
When we hide reports, when we hide documents, it makes us look bad.
Look bad because that document was filled with critical information. Authored by the former fire chief, we asked the new chief to read some of what was discovered inside that document.
She wanted to go to the hospital. Her husband also wanted her to go, and the paramedic on scene told her that she wouldn't get into the ER any faster if they even accepted her.
So you have a hidden document written by a former chief, his recollection of significant details at Burl's house in the time before she died. Which brings us back to the ambulance district and what the chief of paramedics calls the other side of this story.
When a patient has the ability to refuse, again, that they have decision-making capacity, We're not allowed to force people to go to the hospital.
And that's a critical point of contention.
If the crew recognized that her oxygen levels were at 50 and 60% and they did nothing, they had to have known she was going to die.
This patient should have been transported to the hospital.
67-year-old female, conscious, not fully coherent.
Both point to records showing Burl Harmon's oxygen level was seriously low, preventing her from making an informed decision to decline emergency care, meaning the paramedic crew should have found a way to get her to the hospital.
The paramedic, if they are doing their job, they should try and do everything in their power to convince the patient to go to the hospital.
Is your conclusion that the paramedic that day did nothing wrong? Listen closely now to the chief's other side of this story.
My conclusion is based on this report, he followed protocol.
Did nothing wrong.
Followed protocol.
Our care team is en route.
Was the paramedic on this call ever disciplined for what happened that day?
Not that I'm aware of.
And based upon what you've said to me, there's no reason to discipline, correct?
I would say would not have been reason for discipline. However, there would be reason for education. Spend some time and maybe go through the call again.
So in the end, a story with two sides, a family still wanting answers and accountability.
My only parent.
And a paramedic district saying the call was handled by the book, but also perhaps admitting maybe it wasn't perfect. After reviewing the facts of this call, are there lessons to be learned with what happened here?
I would say lessons to be learned is good documentation.
Could have been handled better?
Certainly. We always learn from our mistakes. Nobody in this job is perfect.
As you've seen, the heart of our reporting many times starts with your tips, your calls, and emails. They do make a difference and lead to critical accountability. We wrap up this year by saying thank you and keep the calls coming. For the entire Denver7 Investigates team, I'm Tony Kowaleski.